It's big points drop for Arsenal tonight. There is no doubt about it. Big points dropped. Took the lead and collapsed. And then never recovered. There is still a 4-point gap, which means the destiny is still in Arsenal's hands. Do I believe that City are going to win all their remaining games? No. Arsenal have an opportunity to go 7 points clear in their next game, and they will maintain that game in hand until after the match at the Etihad. Until after that game. So I think the most important thing for Arsenal fans to do here is criticise what went wrong tonight, absolutely, and do it with, for all the right reasons. But I've been saying it for a number of weeks. Every setback you've had, calm down. Slow yourselves down. Act like you've been here before to a certain degree. You are still the favourites at this point. You had a bad night tonight. There is no doubt about it. I think Arteta, look, maybe he was right to start Eze because Odegaard's just returned from injury. The same people saying he should have started Odegaard are probably the same people that moaned at him for 2 years for rushing players back from injuries too early. So we've got to look out for hypocrisy in the analysis here. But Eze was very, very poor. In fact, the whole team in the first half was. It was a lack of enthusiasm, a lack of intensity. Arsenal not moving the ball quick enough. Reminded me a little bit of Man United's game the other day, not getting crosses early into the box when there was chances. And I think they had one shot. And I want to put this into perspective for people to speak about, it's Arteta and the way he plays. It's the lowest amount of shots Arsenal have had in the first half of a game in 5.5 years. It was really poor. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Brentford in that regard because they defended well, they pressed magnificently, and they were a threat when they attacked. But Arsenal had no real impetus in this game at all. Second half begins, and Arteta makes an early sub. Something he's regularly been criticised for not doing. Odegaard comes on, and for the next 15, 16 minutes, Arsenal were majestic. Great 1-2, one-touch, two-touch football. Great 1-2s around the corners. They were looking potent and dangerous, and Brentford couldn't handle it. I don't believe they had a single opportunity themselves. Arsenal were in the ascendancy. They were by far the better team. And then they scored a very good goal. A very, very good goal. Excellent cross from Nketiah. And Noni Madueke, I think he was a little bit shocked, to be honest, that he scored the goal. He meant it. You could tell by the way he dropped his weight back and he put a little bit of thrust forward, but it was more about just letting the ball hit his head and send it back in the direction that it came from. It was a fantastic... Harry Kane would be thrilled to score a goal like that. It was a very good goal. But then Arsenal went back to being the team that we all saw in the first half. A bit of intensity dropped out the game. Maybe they relaxed a little bit. They couldn't hold on to the ball anymore. And of course, I don't want to take credit away from Brentford. They upped their intensity. They pressed harder. They then attacked in numbers. And I've said this on the terrace for a few weeks now. Don brought this to my attention. He was correct about it. Teams... when you get at Arsenal, you can make them a little nervous in games. And it is true. But also, you can get slapped up like Leeds did. You can get slapped up like Sunderland did. It's a risk. But it can be a high risk that has a really good payoff. Man United did it. We went a goal down after absorbing their early start and then went on the attack and scored the next 2 goals. We conceded. And then went straight on the attack and scored a goal. Now, they were worldy goals. They're very, very good goals. But we still committed the numbers forward to getting the balls in those areas. Brentford tonight took great risks. Because had Arsenal had intercepted some of those forward passes when they were going for the equaliser, when they were going for the winner, Arsenal really should have had more opportunities of scoring the other way because there was space. But they couldn't handle that intensity. They almost let it go. It was very strange to see that from Arsenal tonight after watching their last couple of games where they've been completely at it in that regard. But Don was right. When you get at Arsenal, there is a chance that you can beat them. The problem is that a lot of teams are too scared to. Most teams are too cowardly to attack them because they do fear what comes back in the other direction. And tonight, Arsenal just couldn't capitalise on that. Some of it was good defending. Again, I don't want to take credit away from Brentford. And that's the issue. If you just say, it's because Arsenal were crap, then you're not crediting the other side. And if I just say it's because Arsenal were bad, the same amoebas will go, why aren't you crediting Brentford? So I'm making sure I do both here. But from my point of view, it was that lack of intensity. Now, what do you put it down to? Is it the nerves of the title race that are creeping in? Is it just that going to the VTech right now, it is the VTech, I believe, the stadium. Going to the VTech right now, it was 7 wins in their last 10 games, 2 brilliant away wins. Brentford actually, it's the greatest Brentford team ever, by the way. They've never had this amount of points at this stage of a top flight season ever. So you're going up against a very good team. Is it just a case of tonight they met a really well-coached team with great intensity, power, speed, technique, and a threat? Is it a combination of that and maybe some nerves creeping in? Because we're not going to sit here and pretend that Arsenal are not well coached. We're not going to pretend that Arsenal don't have very good players. I think that would just be disingenuous at best. But it wasn't of the standard tonight. And I feel the attackers, by and large, were poor. You've got to give Noni Madueke his credit for the goal. I think Odegaard came on and played well and deserves some credit. But outside of that, Gyökeres didn't do enough. Eze was completely invisible in this game. Trossard okay for 15 minutes, but either side nowhere near the standard. Saka came on and I felt was invisible tonight. And equally, Martinelli. That chance at the end, first time, let it run across your body, left foot, bang. Or have better spatial awareness. He should have actually started to do what Gyökeres did for his chance that Declan Rice's pass was undercooked for. As he sees him breaking himself into the box, he has to start drifting away a little bit so that he can open his body up and hit that ball first time. His positioning was poor. His execution was poor. Kelleher makes a very good save, of course. I thought it hit his body. It didn't actually. It hits his arm that he puts out. It was a real... I know they're all saved, but it was a real save. The ball had gone past him. But just not of the standard. And Arsenal fans should be disappointed. But what I don't think you should be doing is throwing baby out with the bathwater. What I don't think you should be doing is going on an absolute tyrant, attacking your club, because I guarantee you'll hear it tonight from some people. This is why we've got to sack Arteta. This is why we've got... Right now, in this moment, you've got to do it because it's going to help fix your season so bad as it stands. I think you've got to try and keep a little bit of composure. But the one thing that's going through my mind is listening to the likes of Positive Dan, who came on the show last night. A man who has been so full of himself all year, and rightfully so. He's having fun with it, and I advocate for that behaviour in football. He just sort of said, I'm so worried, I'm so nervous. Basically, he said, I'm so scared at the moment due to these 2 Manchester City wins. And you've got every right to feel scared. I understand why you feel it. But you are part of your team. Fans are an important component in football. I truly believe that. And this is where you guys have got to show a little bit of stomach, a little bit of chest. So you guys have got to show a little bit of thick skin. Sometimes as well, I'm going to quote a saying here from World War II. Loose lips sink ships. Sometimes, maybe you've got to keep it a little buttoned. Whether I'm talking about football gods or whether it's about don't really need the players to see how nervous we are. And again, you do what you want to do. Your football club, it's your life as well. You've got your own sovereignty. Do your own thing. Whatever makes you happy. Just food for thought. Well done to Brentford tonight. Thoroughly deserved the point, if not more, from that game. Arsenal, look, they've got the FA Cup to respond with this weekend. They get to play again before City in the game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. So a chance to make it 7 points. Yes, with a game in hand, but points on the board are always more valuable. But this title race is looking very, very juicy. Like, share, and subscribe, please, people. Get it done now.